Everybody can feel the change. There's a change happening in the housing market all across the country. And if you live in the Seattle area, my name is Hardeep Singh. I'm a real estate broker for over a decade here in the Seattle area. And I want to talk about 2026. So, what can we expect in 2026? So, we'll start off with buyers. In 2026, this is going to be the best buyer's market that I'm going to see in my career. The reason I feel it's going to be a big shift in the buyer's direction is because this summer of 2025, we had the most amount of houses that came for sale since 2019. So if you remember 2017 going into 2018, what happened was the rates were right around 3.25% from 2014 to 2017. And then in the summer of 2018, rates took off. At the same time, a lot of inventory stood frozen because people were used to 3.25% for the last 2, 3 years. Then all of a sudden they're 4, 4.5. They even went up to 5%. But that put a good halt on the market because people, when things change, people hesitate, they pause, they stall. And then when things start going back to normal, people continue. So 2018 is a very similar year to 2025. We saw that inventory just shot up. So this year, like I said, the most amount of inventory came since 2019. So before that, it was 2018. And what's happening with a lot of this inventory, it's not selling. So a lot of people, we can feel the sluggish market. A lot of home sellers are feeling it. The buyers, they're loving it. If you're a ready, able buyer, you got cream of the crop product, sellers willing to give you closing costs, discount list price. So it's really good. The statistics for King County over the last 4 months, about 40% of houses sell every month. So what's happening to the other 60% that's not selling? Well, guess what? If they don't sell here in the next few weeks as we get into the holiday time, these sellers, they're pulling their house off the market. They're going to continue with their goals next year and relist. But at the same time, we have to pay attention to the new sellers, the sellers that are already planning to sell their home in 2026 that haven't been on the market in 2025. So what you're going to have is a lot of these sellers come to the market at the same time. So all this unsold inventory is going to go into next year, and there's going to be a lot more options for buyers. I think buyers are going to get some of the best deals. There's going to be an abundance of supply. So buyers, take your time. Be patient. The first 2 to 3 months, I believe it's going to be a little seller's market where inventory is going to be a little strict. And as we hit into April, May, June, inventory starts taking off. So next summer, I expect it to be even slower than 2025. And I don't mean it in a way that prices are going down, but if you're a seller and you're thinking about selling, you want to sell during January, February, March of 2026 to get premium pricing. What that means is your house will still sell in the summer, but in the summer, it's going to be you and 10 of your neighbors or people that live close to you that are selling their house. In the early months of the year, it's just you and maybe one of your neighbors. So, upward pressure in pricing during the first few months. Pricing will stabilize as we hit into May, June, July, August, just like it did this year. And like I said, next year, I expect it to be a little bit more slower. Listen, I do real estate full time, and we've been used to sellers getting their way for many, many years. And in 2026, if sellers don't strategically price their homes, they're going to sit on the market, they're probably not going to sell, and they're probably going to end up selling for less than they should have if they would have just priced correctly. So, buyers and investors, get ready. I've been talking to a lot of my clients, my buyers. I said, hang tight. And as far as rates go, I personally think they're going to continue trickling down slowly. I don't think they're going to go from where they're at today, right around the 6% range, down to 4.5% by next year or the end of next year. I honestly think they'll trickle down slowly but surely, but they'll be in the fives for most of the year. So we're headed in the right direction. If you go back 2023, summer of 2023, we sold houses at 8.25% interest rate because they just peaked. So once again, we're headed in the right direction with interest rates, and I think they should come down slowly because if they come down too quick, guess what? That's going to bring too many people and it's going to drive the price right back up. And if you have any questions about 2026 or if you're thinking about investing in the Seattle real estate market, please make sure to reach out to me. Thank you, and make sure to subscribe to my channel.